just rambling in the background over the cool music. Sound will be fine. Hello everyone, welcome to VKH Live. Happy holidays, hope that was fun. Let's see if I really did have technical issues. Nope, it's looking all good here. Yeah, you got to help me catch up a little bit. It's kind of weird doing the holidays where I'm at, because where I'm at, it just now got cold. And by just now got cold, I mean it just now stopped being boiling hot. So I was feeling a little festive. Wanted to go through all the temperature changes that I don't really get down here, but they look really cool on TV. So started with a little bit of cold, moved on to the nice heat we're all used to, or I'm used to at least, the heat we bring from this show. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to VKH Live. I'm your host, Jeff DeWitt. Good to be back. Thank you for your patience, everyone. We have a very, very, very intense stream today. December turned out to be a surprisingly jam-packed month. It just seems like every month in the second half of this year has been like that for VK, J-Rock. I was gone 1 week one show last Saturday, and like there's already a Crystal Lake album that I can't not talk about at some point. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna talk about that album. It's crazy. It's very crazy. But we're gonna get through as much of these as we can. I'm sure everybody has all of their personal wish lists for what VK releases they're most excited for. So please let me know what they are in the chat, and let's get the show on the road. If you're new to the site, if you're new to the content in any way, shape, or form, we are VKH Press. We are a really dope website. We cover Japanese rock, Visual K. Primarily Visual K and J-Rock bands that are adjacent to it. And we are about to go into so many different artists. Look at all these different tabs I've got pulled up. If I run through a bunch of them, just give quick sneak peeks. Well, that's the end thing. But yes, we have a website. It's vkh-press.com, and we have a releases list article if you're not familiar, and that is just a list of if you're a Visual K fan and you're a fan of any music generally around Visual K, like Miyavi, for example. We have nice monthly lists that cover all of the different albums, singles, DVDs, and links for where to buy them. So the link to that is in the description. The link to our homepage is in the description. The link to support us in any way you prefer is in the description as well, as you see fit at your discretion. But my goodness, there's actually, I don't know. First of all, I'm just going to shout out to Baroque. I don't actually listen to a lot of Baroque. And by a lot, I mean any, but shout out to Baroque for being the one band that to have the Stones to put a release straight out on Christmas, at least in terms of like the more strictly Visual K like kind of releases. You know, Baroque's got some got some guts for doing that. You know what I mean? They're pretty ballsy there. I'm impressed. I'm quite impressed. Let me see if I can pull up chat. See what chat's saying. Try Michigan cold, try being in Kansas cold and see what happens. Please update me. Honestly, I don't even know what's coming out this month, so we'll see if I'm interested in anything. Yeah, it was kind of surprising as I just start. Maybe it's just when you just list them out, because I wrote this last night, and when you just list out these releases, they do start to add up. So. VK adjacent, yes, thank you. My missing term that I use every other episode and forgot there. Yes, thank you. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of different ones. I have picked out a well, you might have guessed from the thumbnail, I might be picking a couple of my personal preferences to go over tonight. I also picked out some that I think are going to be of particular interest to those of you watching, and you know, had a nice lineup for a nice decent stream, and that was after just getting through December 5th. So we will we'll see how deep into the month we get. But we will go ahead and start jumping right into this. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out in a few days on December 5th. December 19th has a bunch of stuff, and December 26th has a bunch of stuff as well. So we will get through as much of this as we can. I have backup plans for, like, you know, what I think the most salient ones are, but yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it, guys. Do let me know what if any of these, if you're not familiar with them, or if you have some on your mind. Either way, let me know how you're feeling about each of them. I'll pause after, you know, every few and go and check out the chat. All right. First one I want to cover is one is coming in literally less than 2 days at this point. And that's Mamireta. Mamireta, December 3rd. 2 singles are coming out. 2 singles, and each single is coming in 2 types. First one is called Funsai Suruzo with an exclamation mark. Second one coming out is Ore wo Hitsuyo Tosuro. All right, hold on, sorry. That one doesn't count. Give me a do-over. This is the long one. All right. Second single coming out is Ore wo Hitsuyo Tosuru Hito wa Konoyo ni Inayo. You're just going to have to take that as the best that I will ever do with that. So, this is Mamireta. This is the absolute state of Mamireta at the moment. You know, as in, and I say that jokingly, it's pretty great state of affairs. So yeah, these 2 singles, we have a PV out for the long titled one, which I am not going to repeat. The Funsai Suruzo, there is not a PV out to my knowledge for it. So I've been following their PVs that have been coming out since their album, and their first full album. And their first full album was kind of, I mean, it was like, there was a lot of singles, there was a lot of, or just a lot of PV tracks, I guess you could say. there was a lot of emphasis placed on a lot of the tracks. You know, and they really have been bringing it in terms of content. I mean, saying it like that is an understatement. Uh, Watching some of the releases that have come out since then, which have been very ambitious. It's like single on single on single. Like, all right, here's Iku. Um, and then we have our single here, and then we have our two singles here that are coming out. And then, well, it's like two singles and two types. And yeah, it is all different tracks, I believe, is what I saw. Or largely different tracks. Like the B-sides are different. So you could equate these two sets of two types. It's almost like a whole other album at this point. I still think Mami Doreta's sound is great. I think they're like Aoi meets internet trolling to a degree, or Aoi meets memes. You know, just that like rough underground rock sound, and then just like a current level of just not giving a fuck in terms of their sound to a certain degree, and it is kind of trolly, you know, and endearing. I do kind of think, well, I think they're running the risk of potentially starting to sound a little bit more stereotypical in their song structures. This ore wo hitsuyo to suru hito wa kono yo ni inayo single is it's very, and the PV, it's very very stereotypical kind of indie VK. The look kind of reminds me of the Gazette's like indie kind of VK or indie PVs. You know, they're kind of it's kind of like an anthemic, somewhat emotional song. But at the same time, it's still like raw and rough, and you know, there's a certain level of not giving a fuck at the same time. As in, like, the drummer has no pants while he's playing throughout the entire PV, so like that's kind of funny. And kind of in character. So I think they're walking a line at this point is probably like the easiest way to describe it. I don't think it's a I don't think they sound bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just think they're kind of growing up a little bit, and or trying to push themselves, see how much content they can get out, and after a certain point, they're going to start adopting certain song archetypes. But like Aoi, I very much enjoy what they've done. You know, once they've like gone into that general territory. So I can show you just a few clips from the PVs so you understand what's you know what we're talking about here. This is from their official YouTube channel, and there it was. Nope. No pants on the drummer. Just letting it all hang out. Yeah, so I caught that, and now you've all been forced to catch that, because if I have to deal with it, so do you. But yeah, so I think they're in a good position. You know, it'll be interesting to see if, like, you know, the more, you know, the trendier sounds like overpower the Mimi don't give a fuck raw sound, or you know, it's always kind of hard to tell at this phase when they're just like, you know, it's a newer band and they're just like blasting out content like just constantly. You know, it's like you don't know how seriously you should take it, you don't know how like set in stone you should consider it, that sort of thing. So oh, okay, good. Chat is explaining Aoi. Yes, Aoi was a great band. I believe their slogan was kind of. Did they not have an official YouTube channel? I could have sworn Butterfly was. Okay, well, I disavow, as you know, playing unofficially uploaded PVs, even if it's a disbanded band and all that. I'm just, not trying to be a hypocrite out here right now. Yeah, so this was Aoi. Their slogan was something along the lines of the black underground rock, and they were just kind of like this raw, rough, almost like if Garugamesh had stayed indie and just gotten rougher and a little bit more fucked up. And it's kind of, as opposed to like signing to Danger Crew. And just perpetually stayed underground and indie and just gained all their respect that way and made all their best music that way as like this raw underground kind of a band. So they had an album called Birthday that I thought was wonderful from a few years back. But yeah, so Mami Doretta kind of brings back vibes of that, except they're even more like, I don't give a fuck. Aoi was like conveying like some darker points and stuff. They were definitely rough around the edges intentionally and whatnot, but they were a little bit more slicker and stylized. Mami Doretta is a little bit more goofy and mimi. So that's the differentiation there. But we can go ahead and move on to the next one that I had in mind, which was actually while we're talking about, because it was going to be the one after, let me just go ahead and jump straight to this. Since we're talking about the Aoi-ness, the Aoi-influenced bands and whatnot. So after Mami Doretta's stuff on the 3rd, you have a bunch of stuff on December 5th. One of the bands is one of the releases is a mini album from a little indie band called r-shitei. It's ARCHEMI. r-shitei, for those of you who don't know, is basically like if Aoi did Angurake. They're like a underground rough kind of hard rock, slash, heavy metal take on Angurake. And in a way that's actually different enough from Kiryu in that they sound more like something like Aoi, that it does stick out, and they used spooky vocals and traditional instruments and stuff in ways that are not in the stereotypical Angurake way, that at least as much as like any Angurake band that whose name was not Kiryu has ended up sounding. That I kind of didn't finish that sentence very well, but basically, like, there's kind of been this issue where Angurake is just like, Kiryu has dominated Angurake by doing like, it's almost a little unfair, because it's like they basically do and have done like every possible combination of Angurake sound, like with the classical Japanese instruments and the lighter rock music that almost had like a peaceful, elegant vibe to it that like Kagra pioneered, and then their stuff that they pioneered with like the horror stuff, and they've crossed it over and mixed it like every which way in between. So they've kind of had this like really brutal monopoly on Angurake, it seems like. But if you want like a nice little twist on it, and you're looking for more like rough underground sounding bands like Mami Doretta / you miss Aoi, this band will satisfy both constraints, both of those constraints, or both of those requirements. This is kind of record label is Crow Music. They have an official label called Crow Music, or a YouTube channel called Crow Music TV. Very cool band. I think they have a good amount of potential. Definitely quite underground. Dope aesthetic. And the sound's getting better and better. I just really enjoy the sound. I really enjoy the hardness, and the PVs are pretty cool, to be quite frank. So yeah, that's r-shitei. That's one of my personal picks here. Circling back, I just want to point out that also on the 5th, Cafe is releasing a best of album. It's called 2015 to 2018, or excuse me, best 2015 to 2018 compilation album of obviously those three years. It does come in 3 different types. 2 of the types come with a bonus checky, at least the ones that we've got through CD Japan. I don't know if this is an exclusive through them. There is a bonus checky Kanon version and a bonus checky Miku version. And then there's just a regular edition one. So I would definitely check that out. We have all the links to that in our article there. For those of you who don't remember or are out of the loop on this, on Cafe, all of the members besides the vocalist, Miku, the vocalist, basically in the summer, they all announced that they were leaving on Cafe, and that on Cafe was going on hiatus. It kind of came out of nowhere, kind of shocked a lot of the fans. From what I understand, it was just a lot of them all kind of decided, that they had kind of done everything they wanted to do with on Cafe. I could imagine that seeming like a bad look for Miku. But it does seem like the reasons that they were giving were all individually things like, oh, well, I was only playing half-heartedly, and that made me feel ashamed because I feel like I've done everything I wanted to do here. And another member's like, well, I wanted to do my own project, something at my own pace, but it's just I keep hesitating, and because I'm worried it's going to pale in comparison to what I did with on Cafe. And so basically everyone except Miku was like feeling that way, and Miku kind of felt really bad about it, but at the same time just wanted to keep singing on Cafe songs for the time being. But they are now going on hiatus, if they have not already officially entered hiatus. So yeah, that was like a really weird situation all around. So I wasn't getting the impression that there was any bad vibes or anything. It's just bad timing. I'll double back in a second and see if chat has anything to say about that. Oh, you know what? I may just double back now because this next one is going to be quite a bit of material to get through, as if you just saw. Let's jump up here. Yeah. I just remembered the band called Meme. Yeah, we're going to have to talk about them at some point for sure. I can't just let that go. I feel like Miku will never ever give up on Cafe. LOL, he's going strong. I mean, look, if Panic at the Disco can just be the vocalist, you know, I don't see why An Cafe can't just be the vocalist. You know, just throwing it out there. Let's see. Okay. I need to pull up a little bit of material for this. Next one. If you will give me 1 second. Yeah, so basically, there's a bunch of Hide stuff that's coming out, and we're gonna do all kinds of like coverage about it. Like it's gonna be quite intense. So first you have Hurry Go Round, which is you know, referring to his 11th single, but it is also a documentary that is coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. Let me see here. Let me grab my details. On the 5th. Yeah, we're still in 5th land. December 5th land. Let's see what we got here. So, I mean, it is a documentary taking a look back on his legacy through the eyes of Yuma Yamato, who is an established actor who visits Hide's hometown of Yokosuka, Japan, and also flies to LA to visit locations where the late artist spent the final moments of his life. The documentary was released in Japanese theaters in May, and is still being screened overseas. Interviews with Hide's family and close collaborators shed light on the beloved musician's legacy. Those who share their stories include Hide's younger brother and personal manager, Hiroshi Matsumoto, music producer and Hide's band member, INA. I don't know if that's pronounced Ina or just INA. Recording engineer Eric Westphal, Japanese music magazine Rockin' On Japan's editor-in-chief Yoichiro Yamasaki, and of course Yoshiki, the leader of X Japan. The theme song Hurry Go Round, Hide vocal take 2 was a previously unreleased vocal track that INA found during the shooting of this documentary 20 years after after Hide's passing. The bonus feature for the DVD/Blu-ray will include the full studio footage from when the Hurry Go Round demo was being recorded, a shorter version of which appears in the documentary. And there's going to be a bunch of other director's cuts of things and rare and unreleased material. And this is all kind of ongoing as part of the Hide 20th Memorial Project, because they are planning his 2018 birthday party, which is going to be a special event taking place at Shinkiba Studio Coast on December 13th. So, yeah, definitely there's so much going on, you know, rightfully so, you know, for celebrating Hide's, you know, or just remembering Hide 20 years later. But it's just been it's been very difficult to keep track of. I kind of wish we'd seen more press releases personally. Like we didn't actually get a ton of notice about this. So I think, you know, his welcome is not worn out in Japan, obviously, but I think his story of all the X Japan members is and legacy is that's the one you want to get out more than almost more than anybody's, I would say. And obviously I know who I'm comparing that to, but I'm just going to say it for myself personally. That is the one that the West will be like, holy shit, that's awesome. This dude was amazing, you know. When you explain to someone that it's like, when this guy died, it was like Kurt Cobain and two other equivalent, two other equally influential musicians, you know, three Kurt Cobains basically dying at once. So, that's like, when you tell that to someone, it like gets their, like, from the West, it gets their attention. So, but yeah, so that's so I you know, we'll probably do some things to kind of like cover this a bit more. I almost want to get it and get the film and go through it. Maybe have a watch party or something. I don't know. Let me know in chat, guys. Like, this is like a big deal documentary. It's kind of flying in under the radar, but it's not. But it's it's a pretty big deal. So were you guys aware of this? Are you guys like interested in this? Is anything like that? So. And if that wasn't enough, also on sale on the 5th is this 4 CD and DVD collection. It's called r-shitei 1998 Last Words Simple Edition Head Wax. This is the case for it. So the description is, well, you know what? Let me just grab my description, because I researched it in context, so you guys wouldn't have to read the translation. But yeah, so basically it's a special CD/DVD compilation of unedited tracks, recording scenes, private shots, and more from the 1998 radio show Hide no All Night Nippon R. And I believe this was one of the very last radio shows that he appeared on and played on. So it's, particularly special in light of, the occasion, 1998, 2018, 20 years since his death. So, or 20 years, is it 20 years since his... I gotta look up. Forgive me, VK gods. I have to look up when Hide died. Yeah, May 2nd. He would have been 53 today, it looks like. He'll be turning, or not today, but he'll be on the 13th. He'll be turning 53. So, yeah. So lots of, long story short, without dwelling on this too much, because I promise you, like, anything on here that's piquing your interest, I can guarantee you, like, there's a stream in the works there's something covering it in the works. So, if you don't think we're not covering Hide stuff, like, I know I like to joke about not liking the oldies and stuff like that, and Boomer K and stuff like that. But go back and watch the last Hide stream I did. I don't fuck around when it comes to someone, who's that serious of an influence. So yeah, there will be some crazy coverage, but just know that there's a lot of this is just all that's on CD Japan. I've seen other versions of this that I assume are more expensive because this is simple edition out there, but there's a lot of content coming out in light of the occasion, in light of the 20-year project. So yep. All right, now that I got through that, let me go ahead and I will check chat. These next few are going to be pretty. Some of them I've covered already, so I won't go too in depth on them. So, wow, that name is a mouthful. Oh wow. There are a ton of releases on this in this fucking month that are like massive mouthfuls. Like Gossip has a DVD called 2018 Nen 08 Gatsu 18 Nichi Do Mai Navi Blitz Akasaka Madwink presents Gossip Tandoku Koen Tour 2017 to 2018 Nihon Sanpai Zenkoku Anya 108 Pon Ware Ware Ga Gossip Desu Tour Final Live DVD. That's all in the title. That's all the title. Insanity. Ridiculousness. So. Oh, man. Anywho's. Yeah, Hide-san would be 51. Oh, okay. I must have miscounted or misread or something. It's in his 50s. Would have been in his 50s. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Also on the 5th. All right, my guys, like Miyavi, Samuel Jackson, and more collide worlds on new album. Samurai Sessions Volume 3. Worlds collide. Why is my voice going up like this? Because he has started dropping previews of some of these tracks, and my goodness, my guy. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Mr. Samurai Guitarist. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with. I called a lot of the tracks that are coming out so far. A lot of these artists that he's collaborating with are, they're not just Japanese or even from East Asia. But, like they're from the West. But that being said, even if they were some that I wasn't particularly familiar with, you can kind of like, I listened to enough different types of music that for the Miyavi stream that I did last month, I was kind of able to pick up what they were putting down pretty quickly and kind of get a vibe for exactly what kind of music they were doing. And what I'm bragging about at this moment, or not trying to sound too braggy about, but it's just I'm pretty happy with the way I'm calling things in terms of the track previews that have come out. The Samuel L. Jackson one, which could have broken either way. He did not actually sing blues. I thought there was like a low chance of that happening anyway. He did. He is making wild, outlandish statements, very, with F-bombs in a very Samuel L. Jackson-esque way. And let's see, what else has come out since? Okay, so Rain Dance, which is featuring Creva and the poppy guy. What's the poppy guy's name in Japanese? I don't remember. It's kanji, but I can look it up real quick. Anyways, here's the link to that stream if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, it was very kind of smooth, J-pop friendly. Definitely had a lot more production, Western production spin on it, like grease on it. Daichi Miura, that's the third guy here. Miyavi versus Duckworth with Ugly, it was exactly what I was expecting, which was like some kind of funky crossover collaboration, some sort of funky crossover effort that, you know, had him pseudo singing and you know, Miyavi keeping the beat kind of interesting, and then there's some, you know, some juicy beats kind of like subtly, like, you know, filling in the background. And then the in crowd remix versus Bach Nero from the 50 seconds or so that they put out was exactly what I was expecting as well, which was lit, because that is what Bach Nero seems to be all about. And it's very good. It's very good. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed all of it so far. It seems like a lot of good fun. I don't think I'm not sure if it's going to be like his most accomplished album, but I think he's finally going to be coming over a hump, like coming to the other side where the grass is greener almost. That's going to be my prediction here. You know, he spent, you know, third time's the charm, I guess. He's really, you know, he was close with Volume 2, but he was playing it really safe with production and the song styles and stuff. With this one, it seems like he's finally been able to take that next step even further into, like, you know, pop, dance, hip hop, R&B, all things non-rock as a rock guitarist, and still, you know, stand his ground and be able to shred on his guitar. It seems from what I'm hearing so far that he's taken another step forward in that direction. So I'm, you know, maybe I'm overly optimistic, but it's just that, you know, what I heard was good enough, and there's a bunch of other like really interesting crossovers that will be going on here. Miyavi versus AK-69, very established Japanese rapper. You know, there were a few that I pointed out. Winona has a lot of things to say about Gallant. Apparently Gallant's a great artist. You know, Invades was like just really interesting, quirky band that I saw as like that could be like they have some sort of something magical there. There's just all kinds of different you know, really interesting, very hipstery kind of crossovers. It's not people you would know. It's literally not people you would know, except you would kind of know them if you were in the know in one particular music scene. Like, I had vaguely heard of Duckworth and vaguely heard some of his music, for example. Vaguely familiar with Yuna. Winona is very into R&B, so you know, the fact that she's cued into Gallant, like I get, like, you know, there's one that it's like that's a genre you had to be in the know on to, you know, find out who that is. So I think there's a method to the madness here. I don't think they just picked randos. I think they picked some deep talent, some solid underground talent, and I think Volume 4 will probably be quite star-studded if this you know, if he pulls this off. So yeah. Yep. All right, I want to give a quick plug for Shiva. Shiva has a new single out. It's called, well, CD Japan has it listed as Hozu. I guess it's Mozu. Shiva continues to be a criminally underrated band, in my opinion. They've worked with Lori from V-Star Promotions, who works with Rides and Rebellion and Viva Rush, if you're familiar with V-Star. This is Shiva. This is their PV. They used to be a band called Crimson Shiva that was very beloved. They kind of they ended up reforming. They've lost some of their members and regained others since then from the original lineup. They have this really nice, solid sound and look. I would just really strongly recommend you check them out. If you liked Rides in Rebellion and wanted something with a little bit and are okay with something with a bit more edge, or if you liked Crimson Shiva but you wanted a more reformed version of Crimson Shiva, like that's what Shiva is right now. They're they have these melodic, clean vocals in the chorus that are very, there's very enchanting. They use a lot of like mystical guitar melodies and things like that. They're catchy. They use a lot of fast, growling, like rough vocals. Guitar work stands out, like guitar solos stand out. The songs are swift and they're well put together. So I'd check that out. They have a full PV out for it. Definitely recommend that band. Now moving on to Zaza. So I actually checked out this release that they've got out, which is Love Letter. It is a maxi single coming in 2 types. This is how they look right now. They have a PV preview out for it, and you can kind of tell it's quite wild. It's quite crazy. I actually really enjoy it. This is really good to see because like I thought their last single, and I think you guys, a lot of you viewers will shared this. We're like, the look is cool, the sound's whatever, but it's just, maybe it's not completely my thing. But it's definitely good, whatever it is, it's definitely good. But it wasn't like, that old school kind of like, yeah, like this is what I'm into, that kind of a thing. And I know prior to their last release, Winona had been concerned. It's about a year-old concern at this point. I'm not sure if we've ever been able to fully check in yet. Since like she brought it up on podcasts and live streams, but she was really concerned with the direction they were going. Like it seemed like they were running out of ideas, like they were losing the plot. I feel like at least with the sound and the look, it's not quite like indie underground Zaza, obviously, but it's much more cohesive. It's much more like you feel the. It's just they're doing a lot better with this. Like it's a better theme. It's a better executed theme. It's a better executed sound. It sticks around in your memory a lot more. And the B-sides were excellent as well from what I was listening to. So this is Love Letter. It's also coming out on the 5th. I think it's going to be great. And Zaza's on Apple Music a lot lately, so I would keep an eye out for this because it was a really good song. They were all really good songs, genuinely. And I hadn't checked in with this band, fully in a while. I'm still slowly going through like the last few releases, and they're just kind of like they're just not my thing by default. So I kind of have to set aside time and just be like, well, do I like this? What am I into? What is this? And so. Yeah, like this, I didn't really have to set aside anything. So it was just very much like I enjoyed it immediately. Zaza but pink. Yeah, I mean maybe. Wasn't there a PV where it was basically Zaza but purple, like that light purple, like Zaza but periwinkle? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Dive covered that one song by Sid or Shid, that like 10 different indie bands like covered it. What's it called? Moso Nikki. They had theirs all with like, you know, is kind of stylized in, you know, certain kinds of like colors bearing certain kinds of significance, and red thread, creepy stalker kind of thing. That's the whole subject of the song, but I feel like Dive like nailed it, nailed the vibe in their PV for it. But that's kind of what it harkens back to for me personally. So. All right, so on here by popular demand. First of all, join our Discord if you're not in our Discord already. Links in the description. We have all kinds of fans connecting over all kinds of bands. But in case you were wondering, Yeti's still around. And if you like Yeti, there's a lot of people in our Discord that like Yeti. Which is good. It would make a lot of people at VKH who used to be more active at VKH, like when they come back and if they see that, they're going to be very happy, because when a lot of them left, they were like, I need more people to be excited about Yeti. And then Yeti got like smaller and smaller and smaller, and now, by sheer happenstance, y'all are just like bringing it back. Just bringing back the hype for it. Let me see if I can pull up their YouTube channel. So for those of you who are completely unfamiliar, Yeti, the vocalist of Yeti, is the former vocalist of Eichel, who is basically r-shitei royalty, OG royalty kind of thing. From what I understand, and from what I hear, like literally from what I hear, their music sounded amazing. And so then he went off. Then after Eichel went on hiatus or disbanded or whatever, he started a new band, and it was called Yeti. It was much more slimmed down, much more, basically not Visual K at this point. I'm not sure if they identify as Visual K at all at this point, but they make their first single was like a rough indie alt rock kind of banger, but like in general they make just this really nice intricate light music. It's very, very pretty, very catchy, very well done. Like the guitar work is like almost always excellent. But they're like, for a lot of you that know this already, they kind of fell off a cliff a few years back in terms of like being on anyone's radar, like about 3 years ago-ish, I guess. Like they stopped updating their YouTube channel. Yeah, they're here now. This is Film Stars Inc., which I mean, yeah, it's a management. I guess it's their manager. And they've been putting out, a fair amount of content, because this is their 7th mini album. Yeti loves their mini albums, man. They love their mini albums. I feel like if they weren't in Japan, they would just be like, they would just freely embrace it and openly just call them all EPs and just be the lovely indie underground EP band. Look at this. What is this? They're such a hipster band. They're like a happy hipster band. Look at this. This is a dog with a sweater on it. 7 EP. Sorry, spoilers. Seven EPs, quote unquote. Oh, excuse me. I mean, quote unquote, mini albums. My goodness. But no, seriously, all joking aside, their music's very solid. You should definitely check them out. I don't have a digital link of any kind or even an overseas link at the moment, unfortunately, for how to get your hands on this. So if chat can provide some assistance with that, I would would happily update the article, you know, with this release information. But I would say, as of right now, from what I'd seen, your best bet might be seeing if their post on Amazon Japan happens to qualify for the international shipping. Or they're also on Tower Records. I don't know if Tower Records like ships internationally. I feel like, I don't know. Unfortunately, this is not my strong suit at this point. So, you know, when it comes to really hunting for albums, I mean, like 99% of the time, if I don't bother, I'm not missing anything. But the reason I don't bother is I am kind of the guy that it's like, listen, I'm going to sit here and be the Westerner that's like, well, where the fuck's the music? You know, like, do you want me to listen to your music? You know, that kind of thing, like on principle. But yeah, Yeti was which is very confusing, because it's almost like before they moved over to this management, all of their music was very easily available on digital, you know, like streaming services and things like that. And then and their PVs on their old channel were getting like, you know, a few 100,000 views each, at least 100,000 views each, and now it's like, you know, all the hype trains dried up. So I don't know if like it's, you know, I don't know what exactly went on with them in terms of that, but you know, they did put out a first full album. It looks like they put out other mini albums and like a live DVD. You know, maybe it's just bad luck, you know, declining popularity or whatever, but I don't know. They were doing really good when they were like full on indie. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not to get too up in their business or anything like that. It's none of my business, but they are a good band. You should check out their music. Subscribe to Film Stars Inc. Give these guys some goddamn views. The original Chaotic Oshari band was that Eichel, yeah, rip Eichel though. Yeah, they were a chaotic good. Victoria Nagel says, don't know Eichel either. I feel so out of the loop again. LOL. I mean, honestly, there's been so many good new bands this year. This is like one of the times where I'm like, you know, really more than anything, I'm like, you just focus on the new stuff for now, my guys. Like it's pretty great stuff out there right now. But Eichel is a classic. This is official, right? Yes. They had an official YouTube channel, Eichel Official, you know, all the way back in 2010. So here is official PV. Very kind of crazy, wild Oshari. The music, you'll understand when you hear the music. It's like batshit. I'm not going to play too much of this because I don't know how crazy Eichel gets, but with their copyright stuff. But moving on, you know who it's time to talk about. It's time to talk about Kizu. Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed the thumbnail. This is probably my personal pick of the month. What I am the most excited for. I love what I'm hearing so far from the preview. I think the preview is such a tease. I think it cuts off right before we actually confirm that it like jumps into like vicious, savage like breakdown. I feel like it's like warming up to that, and then, you know, after that slow intro, yeah, I think it's so. It sucks. So I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for it. So this is their 5th single. It's called Zero. It was used for a movie. These guys look like these guys look like they're the four notorious like rival, antagonist bad guys from Final Fantasy 16. Whenever that game comes out, like they look like, it's like the four grand wizard warlocks of like, the mecha magic, land or whatever. If they make a sequel to Final Fantasy 15, I want these guys to be the guys I have to fight, because it's amazing. Oh boy, and out come the massive boners, says Delta. Oh, okay, all right, yeah. I mean, they're good. They're ridiculously good. We haven't heard like a sound of like this fresh in quite a while, and they're gaining momentum. I feel like the last band I felt like this about was like the Third Birthday, and they did not gain momentum. They disbanded tragically, and Winona and I weep for that every day. Yes, this is Kizu. I'm just really curious about the PV. I'm really curious about the about the song. Yeah, we'll see if it holds up, with the other releases. I think there's more that they can do to start pushing themselves. I'm not sure if this is one where there's like a point in judging too hard if it sounds like past songs, but honestly, like the PV preview for this cuts off, or the song preview for this cuts off right before the song either breaks into like batshit crazy breakdowns and it sounds amazing and avant-garde and epic, or it's just like a safe bet song that's still really solid, but is, it's like a movie song. But it's just like, I don't see them, going this hard with the look and everything like that. I mean, they always go hard with the look, but I mean, like, I don't know. I need to hear Kizu music all the way through, basically, in order to really properly judge it. But yeah, just definitely hope they're continuing to push themselves. That's kind of all I want from them at this point, is to just keep pushing themselves and steadily fleshing themselves out, and just knowing when to switch between doing that and then like doing like a wild kind of experimentation. Don't want to keep it too bland. Don't want to keep it too, don't want to get too bland. Don't want to get too all over the place. You want to develop your skills on like a really steady course. But I think it's it goes without saying among a lot of us in the industry that it's like we're just keeping an eye on them, just being like, let's see if they can keep their act their act as on point as it is right now. They've got, they're getting a positive response. They're gaining momentum. Let's see just how let's just see how much of a fucking like meteoric rise this band can pull off. It's kind of where we're all at from the industry side. At least I am personally. Yeah, that's about all I can say on it right now. We're definitely due for a Kizu stream. Definitely enjoy Kizu here at VKH. I've made the joke a bunch of times. I won't make it again, but just definitely waiting for like a momentous kind of milestone. Seeing like we could have done a stream after the fourth single. I think there was some substantial progress that was made there, coming off the heels of the third one. But we'll see if they've got any tricks up their sleeve for this fifth one as well. But I expect it'll be great. Um, and if it sounds like I'm being like I don't know, too chill about it or dismissive or like passive about it, it's there's you've written someone off. I've written them on. Like it's already a done deal. It's already like, yes, we know where this goes. Like, I'm putting you in the box. I'm putting you in the box. There's a box. There's a selection of other bands. I won't name all of them because it'll make some people very irritated, but or it might make people irritated, it might cause fights or whatever. But it's like there is a box. Bands come in and out of this box, and it is the box of bands that it's like they are just on track to just really blow up. I will say Dataroma has been in that box, for quite a while. We are all I'm just thoroughly not surprised by the fact that they make good music. I'm just happy to see that they continue to do that, like that kind of a thing. And Kizu has been in that box from day one. So, yeah. All right, so that's the that's the end of the December 5th madness. Well, okay, I can do Kizu I kind of jumped to December 11th for. Yeah. By the way, Golden Bombers vocalist Sho Kuryuin has a self-cover album. He has a solo project, by the way. It's not rock. It's not VK. It's not even classified as VK here on CD Japan. But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's not still fucking weird, like how Golden Bomber is weird. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I just noticed some of this. It's all him. So, I prioritized what I was going to cover, so I'm just going to make you guys aware of this, but definitely putting a pin in this. More research into his solo career is probably not too bad of an idea. It's all him. It's all him. I think that's him still, technically. That's him in a dress. Oh, God. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see how many of these we can get through. Well, I'll re-chat, give myself a break. Let me kind of chug some water, and then we'll get through the rest of them. There's a few more that you guys requested in Discord that I cover, so I'm going to make sure and cover those. Don't worry. Yes. I don't get it, but I'm glad y'all enjoy them. I'm just playing. I know you're just playing Delta. I just was caught off guard by the use of the word of the boners coming from you. I didn't know how to respond. HR didn't prepare me for this situation. Largely because I don't use the word boners. So let's see. Better copyright that before Square Enix takes it. Dude, I'm telling you, on like a tangent note, like I know it's sad that like Final Fantasy 15 we lost like 3 out of the 4 DLCs, but the fact that the director's going off starting his own studio, and then the other team is being, and then the team itself is being shifted away from Final Fantasy 15 to a new IP. I just love the settings that these guys pick. So I want, like, if they hurry up, like, if soon enough, you might have something that looks like these guys, that has villains that look like these guys here. Okay, that's all I'm saying. This isn't a video game stream. Yes, Jeff likes Kizu. Listen. I know a hit when I see one, okay? I called it with Dataroma from day one. I called it with Kizu from day one. I did not call it with Dimlim. Dimlim is still a gamble. People won't actually be fond of that, but Dimlim is quite the gamble, even now. But I will. When I know to make the call, I'll make that call every time. Okay. All right. Let's try and get through a few of these. So, Caligari, I will have to circle back to, but they have an album coming out called 14. I unfortunately, I'm sorry, I do not listen to a lot of Caligari. They are just very weird to me. And I liked Lako's cover of their song Maguro, and actually prefer it to the original. This is the part where we get back into Jeff's whole thing with Boomer K. Like, I just like the newer stuff, I guess. But like, I've tried watching newer Caligari stuff, but I will try their newest album because they seem so weird. It seems so cool in concept. So, D, Vampire Chronicle. We can talk about this really quickly. Oops. Yeah, basically it's just a 2 CD thing. I would just like to point out that the 2 DVD limited edition is $88.14. And honestly, I was thinking about it, and I'm not even mad about that. Like, that's about where like the Gazette tries and puts their stuff, During Grade tries and puts their limited stuff. But then you look at it and it's like, okay, it's too, sorry guys, let me zoom in a little bit. I don't know what's going on with this text here. Very weird. It's 2 discs and then DVDs packed full of PVs and stuff. Or wait, are these just no wait, these are just this edition includes a bonus DVD featuring Narrow Escape Final. Okay, no, so it has a tour final with it. But I don't know, I'm not even mad. It's D. I hope it gets added to Spotify. Or in Apple Music. That would just be a really handy kind of thing to listen to get people interested in D. Because I looked at the track list and it's stuff like Desert Warrior, and they're in Seventh Rose and they're PVs and stuff like that. So it's solid stuff. Delahism X is coming out on December 19th. Just a reminder about that. That was one that we broke the story pretty much as soon as as I saw it get posted. But Delahi is releasing a best of album that does have at least one new track. CD Japan's page was doing some weird thing where they put with new track, and then in parentheses an S, like as if there's more than one track. All the promo material that Delhi posted in the beginning about this, like it only highlighted that there was one track where there would be a new track. So just if you see that when you click on that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing there, but I strongly doubt that it's more than just the one track unless they've made an update. Doubt has got a single coming out called Kinyo Bachi. Let me grab and see if Doubt is a lovely band, guys. If you want some amazing, I guess it's Osharike. You basically call it Osharike. Some amazing light pop rock. It's so good. And like for someone like me to be completely enamored, I am completely enamored with Doubt. And it is this light, happy band. They're so catchy. They're so pleasant. They're so relaxing. If you marathon that band's music, you will just be in a good mood. More than like most other bands in that genre. They are really good. Yeah, and they've even been good since they went indie. They kind of did the A9 thing where it's like they went back to their roots, but then it's also more like kind of crazy and zany and experimental at the same time. So, God damn it, I can't ever find their YouTube channel unless I grab their kanji, and their kanji is let's see. No updates, it looks like, since their last PV for, yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and post this in chat so you guys can see it. I'll put it on the video page because it looks almost like an empty channel if you put the channel page, but this is Doubt's YouTube channel. They're around and they put full PVs up. Yeah, that's them right there. They have zero tags in with any sort of Romanji or English. I feel like. Kamijo has a Sang live DVD. As if we weren't all sick of that constant reuse of that song, or that, not song, Sang label. It's melting my brain at this point. We're here for D, eh, Jeff? The band, of course. I see. Well, I mean, there's a lot of different ways these entendres can be played. I'm just God damn it, Delta. I don't know how to Don't get me flustered. I'm trying to be a cool host, live stream host boy right now. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Make me disconcerted later. Is D's anything on Spotify? Yes. Their newer stuff's actually on Spotify. Like their more wub stuff. So Baroque, guys, tell me about Baroque. Tell me what you like about Baroque. I don't know anything about Baroque. I thought I did. Grimoire. We're gonna have to do a Grimoire stream for sure. I have promised it. It does need to happen for multiple reasons because these guys have put out a lot of music. I need to catch up. And what better time than at the end of the year with a is this an album? And no, with a mini album. Let's see. The new mini album. So I always thought they had the, you know, an awesome concept. You know, the vocalist being like the boy that is trying to get to sleep or can't get to sleep or is getting to sleep, and then the other band members are like his nightmares and, you know, dreams and things like that. So this will be very exciting, I'm sure, because I have noticed that they've been getting better and better and better and better. So looking forward to like carving out some time and just really digging back into some Grimoire for sure. But it's coming out at the end of the month, so just after Christmas. Shelmy, I am hopelessly behind on Shelmy, so I will just reserve judgment. But they have a mini album. It's Shitsurakuen. I know Girl in chat, I believe, dropped some great deep lore about Shelmy. So I'm going to be doing all kinds of reviewing of different trends and events and things like that. So, and bands I'm not familiar with this month, anyways. So, yeah, let's just say I'm gonna like be really cherishing VKH as a creative outlet this month. Okay, so last one I wanted to get into was r-shitei. Let's see. And I don't believe there's a ton to highlight for this either. These ones at the back of the month, they are like head turners, but you know, I'm not going to sit here and vamp, you know, when there's nothing to cover and waste everybody's time, you know. But definitely want to point out the look, and definitely want to highlight the name of the single. So the single's name is Erogro, E-R-O-G-R-O, kind of like a spin-off of Eroguro, i.e. Eroguro K, perhaps. And look at these Black Swan looking motherfuckers, you know. like look at these Visual is Dead 2018 edition motherfuckers. It's more like it since that's their music, right? Yeah, I'm excited to see r-shitei go back to some hardcore dark, you know, styles. For those of you who don't know, I'll just put it down on record for anyone who's watching later on. Eroguro K is an actual, you know, is one of the larger or more, I think it's one of the larger sub-scenes, you know, once you get away from the more mainstream ones, like maybe Neo Visual K or Kira K, or just Greater Oshari K in general, I should say, because Osharike encompasses so many things that you don't even associate with Osharike like naturally, but at least a lot of Western fans don't. But it's it's gotten like a lot of things that have come from Osharike have like achieved a lot of mainstream success, and then also like the Neo-Visual K has also achieved mainstream success. But then you have things like Nagoya K, which is like gloomier, bit more slimmed down, and a bit more like a bit more slimmed, rolled back emphasis on the looks in favor of like instrumentation. And then you have Iraguro K, which Iraguro is a Japanese art form. It stands for erotic grotesque. So here's what we put. And an example of Iraguro K, we put Dataroma. Literally the kinky, it is literally Iraguro K. It was literally the most Iraguro K thing that had come out at the time. Because it was intentionally grotesque with the erotic like imagery in that PV, even like in spite of the fact that it's like BDSM. It wasn't grotesque because it was BDSM. It was the way he was doing things, the way they were intentionally leaving the camera on him for extended periods of time with zero cuts. It was very grotesque, i.e. uncomfortable. Anyway, inspired by the Iraguro erotic grotesque artistic movement, dark themes are reflected in costumes and makeup. Similar to the art movement from which it was created, Iraguro K often focuses on eroticism, sexual corruption, and decadence. The music tends to be aggressive, or at least dark and gloomy, and music videos featuring displays of gore and eroticism are not uncommon. So yes, like Dim Lim, Duran Gray, like more Duran Gray, like more traditional Duran Gray, I guess. Yeah, stuff like that. So if that's what they're going after. And that's another reason why I mentioned like the Black Swan. The Black Swan is extremely Iraguro, or was like they were Iraguro K. They were like the coolest, like craziest, most intense kind of Iraguro K too. You know, so that's why I draw that comparison too. But last time they did a look like this, last time they kind of went back more towards the Iraguro K-ish sound was for I'll regale you with the tale. If you're not familiar with it, was for their album called Visual is Dead. Does anybody remember like the fun story behind this that they had? Like the epic prank, the greatest prank in Visual K. I bet some of you know. Some of you who are familiar with the deep lore of things, you could say. Okay, so basically. They basically gaslighted their fans and the indie VK industry. I think I'm using that word properly. So they announced an album looking like this, right? Like no makeup, or like minimal makeup, no like looking that crazy or anything. They put out a PV, and for their song, and it's super happy and poppy and catchy and light, and that's the secret thing about r-shitei is that they actually make really good light music when they want to. So it authentically like felt like it sounded like a good song, but it was freaking people out, or it was meant to freak people out because they were coming out of like a dark phase, or a pretty dark phase, I think, at that time, and it was just very happy preview and everything like that. And then they announced an album, and it had a happy name, and they announced a track list, and it had all this happy track names, and and everything like that. And then they pulled the rug out from everyone, revealed that the PV was fake. The real PV shows the fake PV, and then the vocalist smashes the TV that it's playing on with the baseball bat full of nails sticking out of it. The track list was fake. The song was like, I guess, completed, but it's not. It was not on the album. The track list is changed. The album title is revealed to be "Visual is Dead," and the actual look of the band is this for this album. So this is the last time they went like directly into like this dark shit. And I know they kind of just did it for like or this harder dark shit, I guess. I know they kind of did it for this last album they did, you know, but that was more of like their Project Dark Age kind of dark, you know, like it was like more ominous and, you know, mystical and spooky kind of thing. This was like this was like Get Fucked Iraguro-K kind of K. This was like, yeah. Yeah, very eloquent way of saying it, but yeah. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the fun we're gonna have, man. I'm looking forward to this music video. These guys know how to have a lot of fun with this stuff. So, yeah. All right, let's see what y'all see. Delta's feeling the D jokes tonight. Yeah, a lot of fixation on the D, Delta. Makes you think. The eroiest, guroiest K. Yes, perfect, exactly. He stole your bat. Oh yeah, this is like the this guy is the final. Yeah, the Mamo is the final boss of bat wielders. That's the guy you have to fight before you get the golden bat, and he's guarding it with his spiked nail bat. So that's what's going on there. So, but all right, that is going to be that. Man, we kind of got through that pretty decently. You know, like an hour and 45 minutes, give or take. That's it's a lot better than I thought it would be. I mean, I'm kind of on my own and, you know, literally constrained by my own knowledge. So I know we missed a few, but I will definitely, like, you know, I want to make a decent effort on some of the ones that I missed, you know, like Caligari. I need to look into them, but it's like, it's literally writing the article last night. It's like, fuck. Oh God. Yeah. Why not just like surprise me with a Lunacy album? Like, you know, it's like that old, that storied of a band. It's like, oh God. Well, people need to know, and I don't have time to go listen to it, but I will. I will. I just also have to listen to their entire discography and figure out what kind of their weirdness I am okay with, I guess. I don't know. I gotta figure them out. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching to the end. I have a Christmas present for you. So this is our Patreon. Last night I went in and I massively revamped it. I've changed things. It's a little bit easier to understand what the tiers are. Main thing I want to point out, and we'll start like promoting this more and more, but I'll just like, this is my little sneak preview to you guys, is the $1 a month tier. I now got it to where I wanted it to be, where it's like you just, for $1 a month, it's like a ton of access, like behind the scenes stuff, to preview upcoming content coming out from VKH here on the Patreon feed. You know, things that are like in their final edit, etc. All the behind the scenes stuff, any like anything that we decided like we wouldn't air like in the final product, but might be funny, you know, certain recordings like audio recordings for written interviews and things like that, we post them here. You get you know, we post polls and questionnaires and basically we ask input from the readers, you know, about like how they want, you know, the websites they follow to cover the content that they want covered. So you know, you get to like hear a little bit about that, and all of our Patreon Discord channels, which I'm going to be building on more and more and more. They're all now starting at the dollar tier one. Basically, you can go through these, but I've moved a lot of things down to being very cheap. So. And added more things at the top, which is something that I was going to continue to do progressively. So if you have a friend that this sounds like it might be interesting, you know, like it's not, nothing's hidden behind a paywall or anything like that, like no regular content is being like hidden away. It's just if they want to see a bit more behind the scenes on how we do stuff like as an industry, or you know, get a hold of us, you know, even faster on Discord, or get involved, or just see like, you know, you're gonna see me botch a question with Rookies is Punked basically in the audio recording. If I can make sure that gets approved and that gets put up, that's gonna be fucking funny. Just wonderful. Like you're gonna see me completely screw up some interpretation stuff there. So I'll just leave that here nice and hidden at the end of the stream. But yeah, let people know even $1 a month helps. I'd actually kind of prefer it that way. You know, like, you know, just like a bunch of people, just like $1 a month. It helps us avoid like, you know, some guy in a suit coming and dropping like $5K on the table and being like, you know, telling us what to do. That's no fun. Anyways, just wanted to let you guys know about all that. Anything else? What else is going on? Nothing really I can talk about right this second, I guess. All right, I'm gonna go get to work on the stream schedule for this month, I suppose now. There's going to be a lot of really interesting streams. There's going to be some streams about things you guys are going to like, probably, from talking to some of you. Yeah, glad to be back. And thank you for watching, and thank you for helping me get into the holiday spirit a little bit. And yeah, do me a favor and like help me catch up, I guess, huh? Because I mean, like, really, I said it got cold, but it got cold in the sense of like it dropped to 50 like at night. And I'm not okay with that, by the way. Like, this is unacceptable. This is bullshit. I didn't sign up for this here in Florida. But if I'm gonna like enjoy the experience and everything, like I might as well just really, really go for it. But you got to help me catch up, because I'm like still transitioning from like summer to now winter, basically. So. Investor/stakeholders in the business called VKH Press. Buy a share for $1. Yeah, basically. I mean, yeah, that's basically what it is. Delta's like, I somehow feel you're selling that directly to me personally. Yes, yeah, I'm coming for your dollar. I'm coming for your dollar, Delta. That's what I want. Is your dollar? Buy a share for $1.50. Bro, we gotta talk about this. What do you mean 50? Oh, the $50 tier? I only have tiers there that are being used. I will just say that, okay? Like, I only do what is in demand. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty cool because like I would like to hear what a lot of people have to say about like how they want to see content covered, how they want to see or how they want to see Visual Kei and J-Rock covered. And so like I think the idea of like using a Patreon where it's like 2,000 people like giving $1, like that kind of a thing, like I think that's like perfect, because it's like not only is it like that prevents you from being like kind of because the alternative is like 5 people giving 500 and then or 400 and then you're just kind of like stuck like listening to 5 people. But it's like, what if it's just 5 people that like they give really bad advice, you know? But when it's like 2,000 people, it's like, you know, there's a lot of, you know, it's a lot less risky. You know, you're a lot more likely to get some good opinions in there. And also you get to a certain point where it's almost like it's like you're listening to the unconscious will of the people. I'm kind of getting like pseudo philosophy nerd right here, but it's like that many people, it gets to a point where like the feedback that you'll see is going to be like in mass. So it's like if we do something that the community doesn't like, I like will know the community doesn't like it because we'll see a bunch of people like stop supporting us. And if we do something that like the community really, really likes, like then we'll see it, because like we'll see like multiple people come in and like come support us. So it's like a really cool way to get feedback and like communicate with the entire community, which is nice because that's what I always talk about, is like we would like to do whatever we can to grow the international J-Rock and Visual Kei community. So you can't grow without like, you know, communicating with it a little bit, you know? No, 50 degrees. Oh, you mean like 50 degrees? Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, I'm a dick. I should talk about it. Half of you guys are freezing to death. Oh, that sucks. That's rough. Yeah, I know. But your snow looked really nice. That's why I did the snow thing at the beginning. I was like, I don't get that here. Such long-term thinking there, Jeff. Nice. Thanks. Yeah, I've been to this rodeo a few times, but I'm not gonna pretend like this is like any other industry, but that's why it's fun and interesting. So, but yeah, if you could just tell a friend. Most of you guys are regular viewers anyway. I'm not trying to sell it for the dollar. What I'm doing is priming you guys for the fact that I'm going to be pushing this out here now. And so instead of it being like, oh, like support us in large amounts of quantity money that we sell periodically, it's going to be like the dollar thing. Like mind meld with us for $1, basically. That should be my slogan. Mind meld with us for $1. That's what I'm going to get out there. That's what I'm going to push out there. Yeah, so yeah, all right, well, with all that out of the way, before I keep rambling, maybe I'll do like an after-hours stream or something tomorrow. I'm noticing some like technical things on my side that aren't affecting the stream, but it's the software screwing up, and there's also a bunch of other different things I wanted to try and test and things like that. So I may do an after-hours stream tomorrow afternoon where we just kind of hang out, and if I do it, I'll go live, and I'll have made sure that I can like have Discord call-ins at that point, so there can be more of a point to it while I'm just going around like just destroying like the stream on stream. But yeah. So anyway, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see very, very soon. Let's all have some great holidays, very, very visual holidays. And I'm gonna go ahead and end with that last song, because I kind of like that last song. You know, I'm coming around on the copyright free music. You know, it's getting better. You just have to have taste, and you know who has taste? Us VK fans. So with that all out of the way, take it easy, guys. Peace out. I'll talk to you later. Woo! How many push-ups did you do? Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.